We are back with Mountain Connections, and today is Health and Wellness Thursday, and I'm very much looking forward to speaking with local author Melanie Webb. She wrote a great book called Adventures in Mother Nature's Gym. She's here to tell us all about it today. Thanks, Melanie, for being here.
Good morning, Christine. Thanks for having me.
So this book is incredible. Actually, I didn't even say the entire title, so if you'll tell it now, what exactly is the title, and what made you decide to write this book?
Great. Yes, of course, every book has to have a long subtitle, right? So it's Adventures in Mother Nature's Gym, the ultimate guide to planning and leading your own outdoor fitness retreat. And I wanted to write it to share my methods. I've been guiding outdoor fitness retreats with clients for a decade or more, and I reached a point where I felt like more people needed this information, and where I couldn't do one-on-ones forever. I needed to start sharing what I had learned. So it was a fun way to say, hey, I think I have something that can help. And I wanted to say, I think we need a new solution. And that actually is going back to how we used to be, which is interacting with the outdoors and Mother Nature in a more natural way and everyday way.
And less of an effort, less of a, you just did it. It just kind of happened, and it's not as organic, I think, anymore. But I'm curious about your background. You're from Orem. You've lived on both coasts. What has led you on this fitness journey?
Great question. Yes, I grew up in Orem, so very active nature girl, Provo Canyon out my back door. My dad was a biology teacher at Provo High School, so he raised us very much in tune with nature, and he was a big bird watcher, so he would take us on bird watching trips and we would play and collect insects sort of thing. But I also grew up playing sports. So I come from a baseball and basketball family. So I played volleyball and softball at Orem High School, and it was always a huge part of my life. We're just very competitive athletes in my family, and I had to spend a lot of time in physical therapy as a volleyball player. So all 4 seasons of my high school career, I was in physical therapy getting chronic leg injuries worked on. And they mentored me, and I just wanted to go into the body arts, if you will. So that's what I studied in college, was fitness, exercise science. I wanted to be an athletic trainer and then a physical therapist, and decided I didn't really want to do that much schooling. So I became a certified personal trainer and have kept that certification active now for 20 years.
So who is this book perfect for?
Well, I would say 2 audiences, primarily fitness people and anyone working in health and wellness, even doctors who want to start prescribing their patients get outside can find a lot of information in here, including if they wanted to accompany those patients, like therapists. And then I would say number 2, if you're interested in this as just a layperson, you don't have clients, but you want to increase your understanding of fitness and your family's understanding, and say have more activities for the kids when you do get outside, this would be perfect for you as well.
Now, in the book, you talk about something that's very intriguing, different kinds of mind, a blue mind, a green mind. Kind of explain that for us.
Yes, so I actually I didn't coin those terms, but what I wanted to do is gather the scientific information that's coming out. So all the while I was leading these adventures and watching my clients and saying, wow, something's different. These people are different outside than they are in the gym. And when it was like 10 years were coming off of them, the stress coming off and everything. So blue mind is actually a term coined by a marine biologist named Wallace J. Nichols, who I've met and who's a good friend. And he calls it blue mind, and that's the effect that water has on us. And so the data shows that when we're on, near, or under the water, our brain starts to create these feel-good hormones. And some of those are serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. You might have heard of some of these before. But it's like our brain is literally creating feel-good chemicals for us just by putting ourselves in that environment. We don't really have to do anything. But by being there, we will start to create these feel-good hormones. And then automatically, it's a stress reducer as well, so we relax in the water. And then green mind is what happens when we're outside in like a green forest. So you may have heard in Japan, they do this thing called forest bathing, and they've invested millions and millions of dollars building walking trails through the forest strictly for the health benefits of their people. Japan is a really stressed out work climate. So they started recognizing they had to do something different for people. And they have doctors there, and they literally measure your blood pressure and occasionally you check your brain, and they have found that systolic blood pressure comes down by about 6 points when you take a walk in the forest compared to when you're in the city. And then they've also shown that your prefrontal cortex in your brain, which can be really noisy and busy sometimes, it gets a rest. So that's not a bad thing to give your brain a rest in certain parts. It's actually very restorative and helps you shift into parasympathetic nervous system, which is where we're more relaxed, versus sympathetic, which is fight or flight.
So in this book, are you bridging fitness and nutrition with being outdoors? Is it more one than the other, or are you just simply saying we are separating it too much? I go to the gym, I hike outdoors, I get different things from each experience. Are you kind of saying to blend it all together so it's a little more natural with all the different things that we're trying to accomplish in life?
Yes, which there's a lot to accomplish, right? And I am trying to say that fitness is more than just a gym workout. It's a way of life. And we can use the gym, like a lot of us athletes do, to train for our sport and to stay conditioned. And when it's winter and we need to go inside, that's great. But it's not the full picture. And as humans, we are getting conditioned by different industries to live our lives in these very tidy, compartmentalized silos. And it's not making us healthier. It's making us crazier and unhealthier. So I think that as we take bits and pieces from all of that and put it back together, we're going to be a lot healthier and happier.
Absolutely. So you wrote this book to encourage a lot of people, and you're also in your day-to-day life, you're still working with individuals. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in my day-to-day life, I'm doing a number of different things, and it tends to be what interests me or where I'm needed at the time. So I still work with individuals, but no longer on just an hourly basis. I'm really interested in that true healing journey, and that takes a little more time. So I've been working more with individuals who really need to make that transformation in their life. Maybe they've been in their careers for 20 or 30 years and they resurface and their doctor is saying, hey buddy, if you don't change, this is going to really start to impact your life. And so I'm doing like healing retreat journeys, whether by the half day or the day, and even up to a couple of weeks at a time. So bringing people here to Park City, where we have all this amazingness out our back door, is really lucky. And then I travel a little bit for that. And I've also stayed pretty involved in the public lands conversation and helped out different companies here and there when that's necessary. So
I've very much enjoyed this conversation. I love your philosophy. It's really fascinating. Where can we get your book and find out more information about you?
Thank you. You can get the book on Amazon. It's on Prime. It's also in independent booksellers like Dolly's here on Main Street in Park City, and you can ask them to order it. It's available on Ingram, and they'll know how to do that. And you can learn more about me on my website, soulfitnessadventures.com, and that's spelled S-O-L. And then there's, of course, the Soul Fitness Adventures Facebook page and Instagram and everything else. And I want to invite people to reach out to me if they're interested in getting involved and doing this more.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much for being here, Melanie. Can I see this book?
Yes, and this is for you in the Park City team, actually.
I'm just going to take it right away from you.
Okay.
No, I appreciate you being here. I'm excited to dig into this. I really just appreciate you being here and talking about your philosophy. And I really kind of like this getting back to getting outdoors and enjoying all that it has to offer.
Yes. Thank you so much, Christine.
So check out this book by Melanie Webb, Adventures in Mother Nature's Gym. Really excited to start your healing journey. You want to check this out. Also, great way to bridge working out, nutrition, feeling better about yourself, and just getting out and being healed by the outdoors. We have much more coming up on Mountain Connections right after this.